Hello, I'm Paige Edwards, and I'm going to be talking about my proposal for long-term monitoring plan of the impact of sediment downstream of College Lake Dam removal. As an overview, I'll first be talking about the history of College Lake, some impacts of sediment, then my proposed monitoring protocol, and how it will be integrated into the overall management plan for the area. College Lake Dam was built in 1934. The lake has mostly been used for recreational purposes by the University of Lynchburg and the surrounding community. In recent years, the lake has not been able to be used for its intended purposes because the area and depth have decreased due to the lake filling up with sediment. In 2018, we had a big rainfall event, and College Lake filled up with water to the point that it overflowed over the dam, which caused damage to the road and the dam itself. This led the city of Lynchburg to announce the following year that the dam would be removed. Currently, construction is being done for a new bridge for the road, and by 2024, the dam will be gone, and what is currently College Lake will be returned to a wetland. And monitoring of this ecological change will be done by the University of Lynchburg. So some of the impacts of sediment. When a dam is removed, a lot of that sediment that has been trapped behind the dam will flow to the area downstream, and this will affect the available habitats by covering a lot of things up with sediment. It will also make the water cloudier, which is not helpful for organisms that photosynthesize and all other organisms which depend on them. So, for my proposed monitoring protocol, I'm going to focus on the different habitats which are in Blackwater Creek downstream of College Lake Dam. So I'm going to assess the velocity of the water at different sites. So I will categorize it as either fast or slow, and for the fast sites, I will see if they are turbulent, or so they splash around a lot, or non-turbulent, so the water flows smoothly. And for the slow water spots, I'll identify if they're a scour pool, so kind of a natural pool, or a dammed pool. I will also assess the depth, both the water depth and the depth from the height of the bank to the base of the stream. I will also identify kinds of substrate, so if it's big rocks, which I'm classifying as over 10 inches, small rocks, which are less than 10 inches, or fine sediment, because if more fine sediment is released from behind the dam, it will fill in all the little spaces between rocks and get rid of those possible places for organisms to live. I will also identify if there is vegetation in the stream and if there's any kind of woody debris, as those are also good habitats for organisms and identifiers of the quality of the ecosystem. I will also be assessing some water quality variables. So this includes the turbidity, which is the cloudiness of water, so that affects the light availability, which is important for photosynthesizing organisms, and more turbid water can also be more abrasive, which can harm other microorganisms. I'll also assess the pH, the dissolved oxygen, the temperature and the smell of the water, which are all important factors for the ecosystem health. And a lot of the variables I have mentioned vary a lot based on the recent weather conditions, so I will also take note of how recently it has rained. I have selected 12 sites for taking measurements, which range from about a quarter mile downstream of where College Lake Dam is to almost where Blackwater Creek meets the James River. So some factors for how I chose these sites. I first wanted sites where it's possible to reach the stream from the path, and I needed sites that were not too deep so that people were able to walk across the stream to take the measurements. And once those two criteria were satisfied, I tried to pick sites that were nicely distributed through the area and had a variety of different habitats. So on this map, the blue sites are for the scour pools, the yellow sites are for non-turbulent areas, the red sites are for the turbulent areas, and the purple indicates a dammed pool. The monitoring plan I'm proposing is going to be incorporated into the overall management plan that the University of Lynchburg has. Their overall goals are to assess how the water quality, hydrology, and other ecosystem variables will be changing in the area that is currently College Lake. My part of the project will add some downstream perspective to some of these variables. The university is expecting that initially in removing the dam there may be some negative environmental impacts, but eventually this will be good for the ecosystem. I expect that in the first couple years after the dam is removed, we will see more sediment going downstream and covering up some of the natural habitats. But hopefully, if monitoring can continue after that, we will see some positive changes to the environment. I'd like to thank my honors committee who has helped me with all this, everyone who has gone out and done field work with me, and the whole environmental studies and science class of 2021. Here are my references, and thanks for watching.